We are in 3.4 day 1, and this will be just some practice with using the properties to expand. We'll do condensing on the next one, but we're expanding this one. And as we mentioned in the last example, when we are expanding, if there's a power rule in here, we're going to use the power rule last when we're expanding. So keep that in mind here. I'm just going to write that up at the top here so we can remember it. Use power rule last. Okay, so now that we have that power rule last, we're going to do each one of these examples. So the first one's starting off pretty simple. It is the product rule. We have 9 times y. So this can be split up as ln of 9 plus ln of y. Now in the book, sometimes they'll even break this down a little bit further. You don't have to do this next step, but you can if you want. We can notice that that 9 is the same thing as 3 squared. So if you wanted to do this, you certainly don't have to. You could move the 2 out in front and call this 2 ln 3 plus ln y. So that's, we could have it either in this form or we could leave it in this form. It's really up to you. I'm okay with either. For the second one, it's the quotient rule, and there's really no 2 ways to do this one. It's just 5 minus y. Division goes with subtraction. One thing to keep in mind though is keep this in order. The one that's on top goes first, the one that's in the bottom goes second. So this is going to be ln 5 minus ln y. And that's all you can do for this one. All right, next is one that involves a power. So again, we're going to use the power rule last. We're going to split this up first. So that means if we have multiplication, that will be the same as log x plus log y to the 4th. I do want you to have more than one step in here if we're using multiple properties. The second step then would be keep the log x, move the 4 out in front to make it 4 log y. And that will be our end result for number 3. Number 4, as you can see, has some weird stuff in it. This is going to be the most complicated one of the batch here. But I want you just to remember that with roots, we can change roots into exponents, and so I'm going to do that first here. I'm going to make this x to the 1/3, and then on the bottom we do 2/3. So y to the 2/3 exponent in that case. Once that happens, now we can split this up. We can use the quotient rule and say that means log of x to the 1/3 minus log of y to the 2/3. The only other thing left to do here, the power rule last. So let's move these powers out in front like we have done before and call this 1/3 log of x minus 2/3 log of y. So that's our final example for expanding on this page. We will do condensing next.